to this episode of The Kim Jacobs Show. Be sure to subscribe to The Kim Jacobs Show right on YouTube. Turn on your notification bell to all so you never miss a beat. And guess what? Every time you watch, you're going to receive a real relevant and relatable guest that's going to share with you a piece of the puzzle on this journey called life that will help you be able to manage just a little bit smoother. At the end of the day, the Kim Jacobs Show goal is to be able to provide balance to the world, one household at a time.
Kim Jacobs Show. You're watching Kim Jacobs Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the Kim Jacobs Show. I am super excited to have with us today Pastor Paulette Harper and some of the contributing authors of the book, The Breaking Point. How are you ladies today?
Good.
Thank you. Well. So glad to have each of you all here today. And I'm excited because Pastor Paulette got a chance to hear backstage from someone very special. It was a surprise to her. We were just in the middle of a conversation and I was like, oh man, I'm kind of running behind here. And guess what? He was kind enough to get on the phone and talk with Pastor Paulette and Leisha. And what did he say? Who was it and what did he say?
Les Brown. Les Brown.
Come on, Les Brown.
Our book.
Yeah.
Yes.
So that was so awesome for him to be kind enough to talk and just give some words of encouragement about us getting to a place where we are sometimes at a breaking point with everything that's going on in this world. And some things, when I say some things I can't even imagine and can't even stomach to watch, where people are, I don't know every detail and I can't even talk from the perspective of every detail. Definitely not just representing the show. I'm talking from me personally as a mother of African-American sons. And I do have an African-American daughter too. To see an African-American young man face down on the ground, shot in his head from the back is a hard thing to stomach for a mother of Black children, okay? Of any mother, actually. I'm sure any mother can relate to the fact that if you see a young man, 26 years old, shot down, it's hard. It's hard to stomach. So we have so much going on across this land. I have a friend of mine that's one of the contributing authors in a book that we've collaborated on, and her niece was found dead and
oh wow.
It's just crazy. After being missing for over a week or so, they discovered her body. So there's a lot of stuff happening that can thrust us into our breaking points. I'm only using those as two examples, but imagine all of the people that have passed away with COVID related situations. And many of them are parents and their children are left here on this earth to still go on like they got to carry on in life. I read a story. I recently saw a video yesterday, and the video was of a 24-year-old young lady and her 3 siblings. Well, she immediately, after her mom, who did an amazing job of raising them, she immediately sought and fought for guardianship so that her siblings wouldn't be thrown into the system.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff can throw you to a breaking point, everybody. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about The Breaking Point with Pastor Paulette and some of the contributing authors. This show is going to be fire. So you want to go ahead and share this broadcast with all of your friends and make sure that they be a part of today's discussion. Talk to us for a quick second. Where are you guys located? Leisha, tell us where you're located.
I am in Georgia, the fabulous state of Georgia.
All right. What part?
I'm in Conyers.
Okay, that's why you said Georgia, because I don't know. We're no Conyers. What in the world? Where is that? Tell me what that is.
It's outside of Atlanta. I normally just say Georgia just to be general.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, you don't went all the way to your government street. I'm at 1122. I'm like, wait, what? Conyers?
Yeah, I normally like to be a little general. Like I'm just
Carolyn, where are you?
The state.
I'm in
Carolyn,
Alabama.
where are you located?
I'm in Alabama, the great state of Alabama.
All right, Carolyn. And then also, I know backstage we were talking with Les and everything, and I didn't get a chance to go through the details of the lighting. But when you can, when we go to a commercial break, turn your camera away from the window a little bit. That's a free tip for everybody, just so you know. The light comes in on you, it gives you a brighter ambiance. But if it's behind you, it'll take away from your aura. And you have a beautiful aura over there. So turn the camera just a little bit. And when we come back after the commercial break, you're going to see what I'm talking about. See, that's why I teach people how to start your own show from scratch. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, come on, Bernice, where you living?
I live here in the Bay Area, Northern California.
Oh, you got like an exotic voice too. Why are you talking like that? You're like,
Thank you.
I am in the Bay Area. That's gonna get you any kind of role that you ever decide to go and say, I'm all regular high pitch. You're like, I am. You know what, Bernice? I've always wanted to talk like that. And I have a vision in my mind of how I sound. And so I feel like I have a really good, distinguished voice, right? And I'm excited about exploring my voice. And so sometimes I'll say, hello everyone, and welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. Hope that that's what I thought in my head. But when I'm in, the adrenaline is going and everything, I'm like, hello everybody, welcome to the Kim Jacobs Show. It's like, what? That's not how I envisioned this. I was expecting to be like exactly what you're doing, Bernice. It's a beautiful thing.
Thank you.
I love it. Man. Okay. So next, Sonia, can you please take a moment and tell us where you're located, please?
Sure. I'm also from the lovely Bay Area.
Oh, see, all y'all Bay Area. That must be some kind of training. How did you do that?
Wait, I'm about to blow your mind because I'm from the Bay Area.
Get out of here. Okay, so all of y'all have like these sultry voices?
I don't know.
That's the first time I've heard that.
Right.
That is seriously, I mean, y'all put a 1 in the comments if you know what I'm talking about. It's something that I don't know if it's a gift or a talent or is it learned behavior? I don't know what happens, but it's a good thing. It's a compliment. Trust me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I said it under my voice. I said, yeah. All right. Pastor Paulette, where are you located?
Oh my God, I'm from the Bay Area too, Kim.
Just drop the mic, everybody. Carolyn, we on our own over here, okay?
We are. We'll hold it down. We'll hold it down for the Southern girls. We'll do that.
Well, amongst all of these Bay Area people, okay, we're so honored to have you all here today, and we're going to have a great time. Listen, right after this commercial break, we'll come back and we'll start talking about this tremendous book that's now hitting the streets and will be available right here for you. And so that you can start reading The Breaking Point. And also, if you want to put in the comment section a time that you feel like you've experienced the breaking point and how you handled it, we'll pop it up on the screen as well throughout this discussion. All right, we'll be right back after this commercial break to hear more from these Bay Area residents with their beautiful voices. Okay. All right. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned.
I'm attorney Kenneth D. Snow, and at the Snow Legal Group, justice is our job.
For more than 20 years, Attorney Snow has been fighting for justice and winning cases in the Carolinas by providing aggressive representation in criminal defense, domestic violence, family law, serious injury, and wrongful death. If you've been injured or lost a loved one in an accident, including tractor trailer or rideshare, you need the Snow Legal Group by your side, fighting for justice and fighting for you. Visit snowlegal.com. Call 704-358-0026 for a free virtual consultation. Located at 6827 Fairview Road, Suite D in South Park.
Everyone, we are here today talking with some of the contributing authors and the visionary herself of the book, The Breaking Point. And so as we begin to talk about this, Pastor Paulette, she's the visionary. That's one of her glamour shots there, looking mighty fabulous in her shot. And then also I would love to be able to show you all the actual book. So as you are preparing to purchase it, you'll know exactly what it looks like. It's called The Breaking Point. And as you can see, it's chains and shackles. I would like to hear from you, Pastor Paulette, about your vision pertaining to this book. Talk to us a little bit.
Yeah, the cover, I wanted to find something that was going to really resonate with the current state of where, anyone that's part of the anthology and those that read it will see it, that we were, bound and chained, but we get to that breaking point where we want to break loose. And that's really what all these stories are about, women and men who got to that point of really wanting to break loose, break free, come to that place of decision making and wanting to really want something different in life and expect something different because they deserved it. And so, readers will definitely be able to resonate with any one of the stories that are written in this book. And so really looking forward to the release, which is on Tuesday. Those, will be able to purchase a copy of the book as well.
Excellent. And so how did you go about choosing these particular authors that are contributing in this book?
Well, they just answered the call. They listened to what the synopsis was about, what the book was about, and they said yes. And that's really what it's about. When you, be part of any anthology and you want to share your story, you are saying yes to the process and yes to, going back to, sometimes those places that are dark. But it's really about them saying yes to the call, yes to the process, and yes to wanting to really share their story with the world.
Well, I'm so grateful that they said yes, because as a result of that, we're going to be able to be better people and have better experiences in our own journey. And so I'm excited. What do you really ultimately, Pastor Paulette, want the viewers, the readers, the listeners, and especially the readers of the book to walk away with?
Yeah, what I want readers to walk away with is that these stories are relatable and that these stories really can resonate with them right where they are, that they too are at a breaking point or they were at a breaking point for these authors, and that the readers can walk away with a sense of knowing that if these things happen to them and they made that U-turn, or got intercepted, that they too can have that place where, all is not lost, that it's not over, and that there's still purpose and destiny, for them to, move into. So really finding inspiration, empowerment, and hope through these stories.
That's excellent. And now you have lots of other things going on in life as well. Just tell us at least something. I know we'll go back throughout this broadcast and pull you in on the discussion, but tell us just something about you and some of the projects you have going on outside of the book.
Yeah. So in addition to being a visionary author of, this book and other books as well, I do coaching. I do one-on-one coaching. And then also I'm going to be releasing a school, or launching a school, I should say, an online school called One Story University. So I'm working on that. And then, later in the year, I'll be doing another anthology. So I have, quite a few things going on right now, just really wanting to be able to bring other people along with me on this journey so that, my passion is emerging authors who really want to share their story with the world. And even those who've written before, to be part of any anthology or any coaching process that I may, or program that I may have to offer them as well.
Excellent. Okay. And people can stay connected with you. I have your contact information over here. So tell people how they can stay connected with you.
Yeah, so people can connect with me on my website, which is pauletteharper.com. Of course, I'm on Facebook here as Paulette Harper, Pastor P, Twitter, IG, and then also Clubhouse, Paulette Harper.
Oh, Paulette Harper, Pastor P on okay. That's cute, Pastor P. All right. I didn't know that's how you roll and saying Pastor P, but that's a good thing. Okay. Makes it more relatable. And on Instagram, how are you? What is it called?
Yeah, on IG, Paulette Harper 1, and then on Twitter, Paulette Harper, and then also on Clubhouse as the same.
All right, everybody, listen, make sure you stay connected with Pastor Paulette Harper. And are you going to be having some other anthologies coming out where people can reach out to you?
Yeah, actually, if you go on my website, I have a tab there called co-authors, and you can get on my waiting list for the next anthologies that I have coming up.
And keep in mind, everybody, that Les Brown is going to be endorsing her book. And
Yeah,
so
I'm still there, Kim. I'm still dreaming about what that call was.
so that whole waiting list might expand a little bit longer. So
Okay.
you might want to go over there today, because I know I did that recently. I spoke at one of Les Brown's events, and within like less than 20 minutes, my whole calendar was booked all the way through, including the holiday. I was like, wait a minute, I forgot to block myself off of the holiday, even the holiday. Because I was like, oh, we'll block that off earlier in the month. No, if it's still on the calendar, somebody was like, I got that date. It's like, wait, that's a holiday. Anyway, this is really great that you are doing this particular anthology and it's coming to pass finally. We're excited about it. And we're going to also take a moment to hear from one of your contributing authors, which is Carolyn. So, Carolyn, I am excited. You're like, don't what? Wait, what? You starting with me already? You're like, Kim, you didn't start with one of the Bay Area girls. Why did you do this?
Yeah.
You said you got me, Carolyn, right?
I do. I have you.
All right. Listen, Carolyn, I would love for you to, during the commercial break, just put your contact information that you want to share with the public over there in the private chat. Oh, I see it. All right. You're like, girl, I told you, I got you. Listen, we're going to take a quick commercial break and we're going to come back and we're going to introduce Carolyn Coleman, one of the contributing authors in the book, The Breaking Point. Y'all ready for this? Carolyn, they're not ready for this, are they?
They will be. They will be.
They will be. Okay, we'll be right back after this break.
It's not just another day. It's a brand new day, full of all the fun, love, and laughter you and your family create. Silver Shield Security understands feeling at home means feeling safe and happy. No credit checks, no contracts. We offer payment arrangements, and we'll even give you a free door camera. Find out how we can brighten your day even more at silvershield-security.com. Silver Shield Security.
All right, everyone, we are back. And as you can see, I see comments coming in. I'm excited about them. Make sure you all share the broadcast with everyone and tag your friends. Let them be a part of today's discussion. We're talking with some of the authors of The Breaking Point and the visionary herself. So Carolyn Pickens Coleman is the daughter, wife, mother, sister, cousin, friend, co-worker from Bessemer, Alabama. She has a bachelor's of science degree in nursing from Sanford University and an MA in health service administration from Strayer University. She's a member of the Birmingham Black Nurses Association and serves as the chair of the outreach committee. And she's also the current president of the Bessemer Public Library Trustee Board. She has a big heart and totally enjoys volunteering. She's had over 36 years of experience with critical care nursing and has spent 5 years as a nurse case manager. So she's co-authored some books, some of which is Happiness, Hurt Healing, The Re-Entry of Gentry, Gentry's Journey, Gentry's Circle of Friends, and she enjoys a whole bunch of different activities. I'm going to let her tell you about those. Welcome, Carolyn Pickens Coleman.
Thank you for having me. Thank you so much. And thank you, Pastor Pete, for extending that initial invitation.
Aw, listen, we're so glad to have you on today. Can you tell us the name of your chapter in the book?
Discovering Your Strength, or Discovering My Strength.
Okay, so you're going to take us on a journey on how you discovered your strength?
Yes, I am. Basically, it's about starting over. Just wiping the slate clean, starting over as a single parent, trying to build a life and a career, fulfill some dreams that you may have had that you put on the back burner. For life. Life happens. You have to pick yourself up, wonder which way you're going, complete your journey. And in that journey, you make some decisions for yourself that may not be popular with other people. For instance, I was accepted into a program that only accepts about 15 people a year. And I wanted the program, so I thought. But once I got in, I was like, this is not me. This is not where I need to be. And this is in the middle of me redefining my life. So I decided if I'm not going to be happy with this? Why even finish? So that's how I got into nursing, and did not know anything about nursing. Had never really been around anyone sick. Didn't have really sick parents and sick grandparents, sick relatives. So I just thought everybody was healthy. But got into nursing, found my way through. The nursing school is a struggle. It is not by far an easy journey. So you have to dedicate everything to it. Raise a child, work, keep things going, and keep your sanity all at the same time. So it can be a lot. It is a lot, but it can be done. And once I realized how much I enjoyed nursing, it has been my life's career. Like we say, 36 years. But the breaking point, you can't let anyone really define who you are. You can't let people define your journey. Either you have to walk it along. You do need a support system if you can have that. Some people do, some people don't. Some counselors can be your support system unknowingly. Some coworkers can be your support system unknowingly. Just giving you a word of encouragement, keep going, do what you have to do. And they don't know your story, but they also don't realize they have sown a good word into you to give you that added boost to keep going.
That's a good point. All really good points. And you say you've been dealing with like critical care nursing and things for many years. In that whole field, especially with COVID happening, what's been some of your experiences that you've encountered?
Well, it was a rapidly changing environment. When COVID broke, or before COVID had a name, I was part-time or PRN, but I would come in at least once a week into the critical care setting and care for patients. And I'm always inquisitive, and you should be, as a nurse, as an advocate for your patients, you have to be inquisitive. I'm like, Doc, what is going on with these people? He was like, I don't know. He said, whatever it is viral. They're negative for flu A, they're negative for flu B. We're going to take them up, get them feeling better, rehydrate them, and we're going to send them home. Well, that was in late 2019.
Interesting.
So in 2020, let's say March, I'm taking care of a patient and I'm like, this doesn't usually go this way. It's more to it than this. It's more to it than this. And, but I worked with him feverishly that night. The doc and I side by side, trying to figure out what's going on with him, got him halfway together. I explained to him, you may end up on the ventilator because your oxygen levels just aren't doing well.
Now, let me stop you. Let me stop you for a second, Carolyn, right there, because this is before the thing had a name.
Before it had a name.
So you're here telling a patient, what I'm hearing you say is, this is like sideways. This is happening at a level that you might end up having to be on a ventilator. And here, this is somebody that just came in. They're having some challenges. You can see they're having some challenges, probably some viral. But to have to go and tell a patient that they're going to end up on a ventilator.
Absolutely.
And not even knowing that it was COVID at the time. How did that kind of conversation go?
Well, he was like, he's young. He was a young guy. And he was like, oh, ma'am, please don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. I had two relatives and they never came off. I said, oh, you're young. You're strong. It's just a bridge to keep you comfortable, to rest you for a while. You'll be fine. And he just kept apologizing because he was just twitching all over the bed. And he started coughing. And it did enter my mind, you might need a mask on. But I was more concerned about him than myself. But we got him just feeling a little bit better before my shift was over. He was resting better. I talked with the doc again. He came down and assessed him again. He was like, let's just hold off and we'll see how he does within the next couple of hours. Well, next couple of hours, I was going to be off. Right. But when I came back a few days later, the vent was sitting outside his door, meaning he had been on it. And he remembered me because they were transitioning him to the med-surg floor. And he said, thank you again for everything you did for me the other night. And I was like, okay, good. You know, I told you you do it. I told you you come off. And he was like, yeah, I did. You know, but that's still before COVID had a name.
That's
so here we come. Let's say 4 or 5 weeks later, COVID has a name. My mind immediately goes back to this young man.
Right.
Because that's the only thing that made sense. And I was like, man, he really did have that, you know, but he was never tested. We weren't testing for COVID at that time. It was a reluctance in naming COVID. He was in his 30s, you know, so they were, you know,
but he made it out. He made it out.
He made it out, and he did.
You got me kind of over here, Carolyn. Like I'm like, what's the? You know, I feel like I'm on a roller coaster, and I'm at the top, and I'm getting ready to go down with my hands up, like, I don't know what's gonna happen, right?
Yes.
So, but in this case, this particular young man left the hospital.
Did well. Did exceptionally well. Exceptionally well. Without
we know that over 1 million people there, that wasn't the case once COVID did start getting a name.
Once it gained a name, there was really no room for me to be coming into the ICU because they needed all full-time hands on deck, which is fine, which is understandable. But when I was able to come back in the midst of COVID, I went to see the patients that were truly COVID patients and that were stricken very heavily with COVID, me being on the vent and having everything connected to them. And it was like a war zone to me. I did not recognize my friends, my coworkers, because they're all garbed up from head to toe. I knew who they were because you know how your friends and coworkers walk, you know, what they say, but I just had to see it for myself. I honestly had to see it for myself, and the things that they had to do to care for these patients. You just have to take your hat off to all healthcare workers, all healthcare professionals, anyone who is in the hospital, in healthcare, in the clinics, wherever you are. There's an exposure, whether you're dietary, whether you're environmental service, you know, whether you're the IT people, you know, engineering, everybody still has a job to do. And you have to do it COVID or non-COVID. So when it's COVID and you're in the healthcare arena, you have to safeguard yourself.
Well, I can tell you,
kudos to healthcare workers all over this land.
Wow, congrats to all of the healthcare workers across the land. Praise God for you because you are our heroes. We appreciate you. We honor you. We thank you for your diligence. So definitely the Bay Area people had a sultry voice, right? And you and we the talkers. So we go on and on and on and on. Y'all be like, y'all, don't y'all see all of us? So now see, we got our own little category. We're in our own world over here for real, literally. Okay, we do this. Okay. So you my kindred sister over there, Carolyn. Thank you so much. Listen,
thank you.
I do want to get your contact information for people to be able to know how to stay connected with you. So let's tell them how they can do that. I have it right here. Go ahead and tell people how they can stay connected with you.
Oh, you can just email me on my email, and it's in the it's in the chat, but they can't see that, correct?
No, I have it up here on the screen. It's PICGREG at bellsouth.net.
Yes.
And her phone number is 205-305-0424. You can stay connected with her on Facebook at Carolyn Coleman. Thank you so much, Carolyn.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. And stay put. We got a lot more to talk about. So next we're going to have Leisha. Is it Leisha? Am I saying it right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if it was exotic like Leisha, but it's Leisha.
You know, people do. It's actually Darleisha, but everybody calls me Leisha.
Leisha. Okay. Listen, everybody, right after this commercial break, we're going to continue to talk with the authors of the Breaking Point book. You definitely, let me go ahead and make sure I put this up in the comment section so that you can see This book you can get from any of these authors that are here today. You can also get it on Amazon. It comes out, if I'm not mistaken, it's Tuesday, right, Pastor Paulette? Yes. Tuesday.
Yes. I was on mute. I'm sorry. Yes, on Tuesday.
All right. So on Tuesday, you'll be able to get the book. And there is Pastor Paulette, who is the visionary behind this book, as well as many of the contributing authors, some of which are here today. So you're getting ready to hear from Leisha right after this commercial break. And we're going to also go to your virtual studio audience comments. So before we take a break, let me do that, because sometimes I go too far in the broadcast and the comments don't match what's happening and all that stuff. They be like mad at me. They're like, I know she saw I said I supported with that one. Like Athena, she's like, praise God for our healthcare workers. So thank you, Sunshine Expert, for that comment. And let's see any other comments come in so far. Thank you, Lord. Yes, you're tagging people. Thank you so much, Athena, for tagging people. Athena also said, yes, it is a lot. And yes, it can be done. She's talking about when you were talking about parenting and starting over and things of that nature. Miss Carolyn, she said, keeping the faith and trusting God will get you through. I do my best.
And that is
to enjoy all of my nursing students, because she works at a college. And so she says she really values a lot of these nursing students. Leisha said, this is so awesome. Pastor Paulette said, I'm still amazed by what Les Brown endorsing this book. That's what she's in her own world over there. I ain't thinking about nothing else at this point. Let's get this young going. We ready? Yes, Pastor P. Author Wilson says, I would love to share my story. This is very inspirational, ladies. Congratulations. Author, make sure you reach out to Pastor Paulette on her website and then let her know that you're interested in being one of the contributing authors. And we're so glad to have you in the virtual studio audience today. All right, San Diego, California. Yes, baby. That Bay Area is in the building. All right, congratulations, my mom said, on your book release that's coming out on Tuesday. She put a 1 in the comments saying, yes, she can understand and relate. Let's see. Good morning, ladies. Good morning. I love Cali. Everybody want to come to Cali. Don't y'all treat me right when I come to the Bay Area. I just want to, I'm telling you.
Yes, we will. Yes, we will.
Okay, because when I come to the Bay Area, I'm calling y'all. Say, Pastor Paulette, get your girls. I'm here. We're gonna have some fun. I want y'all to show me the ropes. And then also, I want a specific training on voice training. That's what I want. Because when I come back from the Bay Area, I promise you, I'm gonna be talking like, hello, everyone, and welcome to the Kim J. It's been a wonderful pleasure having you all on today. And so I thank you, and I ask that you will continue to tune in. And also keep in mind that scrolling below is how you can support the Kim Jacobs Show. Let God minister to you and let him just let you pour into the show today in some kind of past capacity in your online contributions. And also thank you, Doretha Wheatley, for being one of our online contributors this week. We really appreciate it. We saw that. Thank you. You see how I use my girl, I was a broadcaster.
You did good.
Major. All right, you said hi. Hey, author. Good morning. Okay, I think I got through some of these comments. Now we're going to take a commercial break and we're going to come back and hear from Leisha right after this break.
Nothing says I love you more than final expense insurance whole life protection. With funeral advocacy nationwide, saving you and your family 30 to 80% off funerals and cremations. Nothing says I love you more. Get Insured Solutions, LLC. GetInsured.Solutions, 704-499-3616.
All right, everyone, and we are back, and we're getting ready to hear from Leisha, who is one of the contributing authors in the book, The Breaking Point. She is called the literary plug by name from her clients. She's also the CEO of Intriguing Moves. I love these names. Intriguing Moves Incorporated, her umbrella company for Intriguing Moves PR, Divas Lit, and Intriguing Pens Publications. Boom, boom, boom. room. Yes. She loves to experience clients' passion for their craft, and she is a social media manager, author, advocate, literary consultant, avid reader, contributing writer, and now author. So, in addition to all of these things, she is also the co-host and the uber popular podcast, Let's Chat with Ms. Tony and Leisha A. Two-time award-winning show, Let's Chat, hit the airways back in 2013. And now these are two avid readers that have come together and they have this phenomenal podcast. She's a hardcore grind author and writer, and also lots of other things that you're going to hear from her today. So let me go ahead and just introduce Leisha Sadler and introduce you and welcome you to the Kim Jacobs Show. How are you?
Thank you. I'm good. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you, Miss Paulette. Yeah, this is so awesome. I am one of the fabulous hosts of Let's Chat, and I'm also one of the hosts, well, the only host of Hardcore Grind. And I'm soon to be launching Hardcore Grind magazine.
Excellent. So now in this book, The Breaking Point, tell us what your chapter is about, the title, and just give us a little, like a snippet.
Yes. Well, my contribution to this fabulous collaboration of dynamic pens is titled The Switch Up. And honey, you will walk away knowing that you can rebuild your own life when you get to that breaking point. But I think a lot of times when we go through things, whether it's death or divorce or whatever it is, we have that moment where we tend to argue with God. And normally we end up in limbo when we're trying to tell him what we want to do and how we want to do it. And he's like, let me, and you like, I got it. So when we tend to argue with God, we tend to put ourselves in limbo until we throw our hands up. And I went through a divorce, and I spent that time arguing with God about how I want to do something and what I want to do.
Right.
And he had to let me know who was in charge.
That's right.
And I had to throw my hands up, but before I did that, have you ever felt your soul cry?
Yeah, this week I've had my soul cry, and
Yes.
God answered. He inclined his ear and answered my prayers. That's what I'll
Yes,
say.
yes, he did. And my soul cried, and I just threw my hands up. And after that, everything just started coming. Things just started falling into place that I had no clue was gonna fall into place. But we can't argue with God. We can't tell him what our purpose is and how we
No.
want to run stuff.
No. And you right on point. You know what? Anybody else, unmute yourself. I know I may not have introduced all of you all yet because we haven't had our full discussion, but anybody that want to chime in on this, unmute yourself. I see you, Sonia. Say something.
Oh, I'm just filled with the spirit just listening to Leisha share her part of her story. It all resonates with me.
Bernice?
Yeah, I have something to say. First of all, Leisha, you all up and down my alley. First of all, and I wanted to say this: when you said arguing with God, there became a time where I stopped arguing with Him and I started negotiating. I was like, okay, God, listen, God.
Right.
Let's
Here's
talk
what I'm gonna
about
do.
this.
Here's what I'm about to do, and let me know if you're on board.
Right.
but y'all listen, a lot of times, we say God put us in, and he doesn't bless us with things out the sky. He does bless us with people, right?
Yes.
But the things that we choose to do, those are choices. He didn't tell us to do these things.
That's right.
We did them, and then we put them in the middle of it in hopes that he just would be okay with it. So like Bernice was saying, negotiate, like, listen, this is what we gonna do right here. I'm gonna put you
make
right
it all
here.
right.
Yeah, I'm gonna put you right here. But this is how it's gonna move. And and he has to let us know, listen, if you choose to go over there, that's your business. But I gotta let you do and be so that you can know that when I tell you to do something, that's when you move your feet. And on my show, we talk about a goal moment. And a goal moment is when thought and execution comes together. A lot of times we're really mindful, especially as Christians, how other people pour into their lives. We worried about the kids and how everybody else speaks on themselves. But when it comes to ourselves, we kind of deal in lack a little. We deal in lack. We are quick to convince ourselves why we can't do something right now.
Right.
It's not the time. I can't do it right now. And a go moment is when you are like, let's go. And I always say, when God tells you to move your feet, you got to move your feet or you'll end up in the cul-de-sac. You know, cul-de-sac can go round and round until you actually exit.
You preaching. You're preaching over here, woman.
Right?
You're preaching, woman from the Bay Area. You're preaching. Good gracious almighty. Listen, y'all, you know, just it's time to go, move your feet, do what God had told you to do. And I know this week I prayed a prayer, and the same day that I prayed, well, first of all, the day that I prayed the prayer wasn't answered. Let me say that. That's what I thought. But in fact, the prayer was answered, but it was in his time as to when he was going to reveal it to me that the answer was already given on the day that I prayed it. Hear me?
Yeah.
I prayed it. And the next day I said, okay, God, what am I, dog meat here? I mean, I specifically would ask you and pray, put my petition kindly before the Lord. And it was a need. It wasn't a want. It was genuinely a need. And I'm talking to the Lord like, you know, like a regular old buddy, pastor, friend, you know, spiritual lead, daddy. I was like, come on, God, I did it. What do we do? And it didn't happen. Can you tell me why it didn't happen? And I'm talking. I don't know if that's allowed. I don't know. I'm just talking about my relationship with my Lord and Savior and how I wanted to just put my petition forward. And literally, right as I was about to say, because I still wanted to end properly, in the name of Jesus, amen. I don't want to be smoking or anything like that. Before I could even end the prayer, calls started coming in.
Yeah.
Text messages, inbox messages with the exact, not any roundabout, with the exact thing that I asked God for.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I said specifically 2 things in that prayer. Both things came to me the same day.
Praise God.
Within an hour of my prayer. Right before I ended the prayer, the one call came in. The next one was an inbox that came in less than an hour after the prayer. I only asked for 2 specific things in that prayer, and both of those things got answered that day.
Glory to God.
Yeah.
So,
but it's God. But it's God. He already knew what you wanted and what you needed.
And when you needed
before you even spoke it, before you even said it out your mouth, he knew what was in your spirit.
Can you believe it?
He knew what it is that you needed, and he heard your soul cry. So he was already in the works. And I think a lot of times we go through things. In 2016, my mom passed. And my mind, I was in a bad place for a long time. And then I got divorced last year. And you tend to, when those things happen, when death happens, you tend to make bold steps in the dark. Now, when I say bold steps in the dark, you can't see your footsteps. You can't see your footprints in the sand, nothing. All you see is one step and a little light. Like, okay, where am I going next? But you don't know. You don't see it. But when I say things moved, like it just happens and it just keeps happening.
Yeah. Well, you dropping knowledge. So tell them your contact information so they can stay connected with you, and we can definitely get to our next contributing author here, which is going to be Bernice. No, it's going to be Sonia.
Absolutely. I believe in that consistent branding. So I'm Leisha all the way across the board. Hardcore Grind, Vision and Books, which is my book event, and Let's Chat Radio.
Excellent, y'all. So stay connected with Leisha. She'll preach to you if you don't hear nothing else. She's gonna bring it out of you hardcore. She's gonna get that yanked out of your spirit, okay?
Right?
All right, everybody, listen. As soon as we come back from this commercial break, we're gonna hear from Sonia Bambino. As soon as we take this commercial break, you ready for this, Sonia?
I'm ready.
All right. You look like you're ready. Look at that beautiful smile over there. I can't wait. I am excited to introduce you all to Sonia right after this commercial break.
I'm attorney Charles Everidge. I started out representing insurance companies until my father was seriously injured at work. 4 of his fingers were amputated. Our family went through a lot, so I know what you're going through as an injured worker. If you've been hurt on the job, call me now. I'll fight to get the workers' comp benefits you may deserve. I'll fight for you like family. Put my experience to work for you. Call 704-457-5000, the first call for injured workers.
All right, everyone, we are back and we're talking with some of the authors of The Breaking Point. If you don't have this book, make sure you get it. We're getting ready to hear right now from Sonia Bambino, and she is recently a contributing author to this book that's being released on Tuesday with 5 published works. She is uniquely raw voice that shines through in her latest work comprised of various online dating stories. We gotta hear about this. Okay. She spent a lifetime writing down her thoughts and sharing humorous experiences with those close to her. It is her unique storytelling that captivates readers. She is also has a career in IT professionalism, and she's also committed to using her work life as an example to women and men alike to show that you don't have to look like what you have been through. And so welcome, Sonia. We got to hurry up because I got to get into this dating stuff. I know you got some stories. Welcome, Sonia. Okay, what's your chapter about? Tell us.
My chapter is titled Cutting Loose, I Chose Me. It is about what happens when you lose yourself within a marriage, especially one that you are unequally yoked. We talked earlier about raising young Black men, and I have 3 young, well, at the time they were 3 young sons. And I had to really think about what I was showing them in my marriage as an example of what a healthy relationship looks like. And I was not showing them that. And they became of an age where they start to discover they didn't like the way that my husband spoke to me. They didn't like the way he was showing them to speak to women. And also questioning their father. You know, why are you talking to my mom this way? This is not how I'm supposed to treat my potential mate or future wife. So it really made me think, you know, am I doing what's best for me? Am I doing what's best for my children? Wow. It became very toxic. I was very unhealthy. And when I began to feel my health fail, I started to ask God, what is it that you want me to do? Because I tried negotiating, as we talked about. You know, I put myself in this marriage and you're going to make it right, right? Right. You're going to fix him, you're going to fix us, and it's going to be great. And I remember asking God, look, do whatever you need to do within me, but please tell me what you want me to do. Order my next steps, and I promise I'll be obedient. And it was almost scary how fast he answered that prayer.
Interesting.
He told me to leave, to pick up and go. And I did not look back. I did not question. I didn't ask, you know, how am I going to make it? And I did just that. I told my sons, you know, this is what it's come to. They were very relieved. And I didn't want for anything. God provided everything that I needed. My health got better. I looked happier. I felt happier. And that's what was important to me. My sons didn't suffer. It was well for all of us, all the way around. But that was really my breaking point, because I was so lost in that union. I thought, this is what I'm supposed to be. I started looking at the unions that were around me as a child, and they weren't all necessarily healthy. And so that's where I had drawn my experience from. I thought, this is what you endure.
Right.
But ultimately, that's not what God ordered for me. And I had to seek his assistance in making that next step. So making those steps, even though I couldn't see in front of me, I didn't know how I was going to make it, but I made it.
You made it. What? You made it. Look at God. Now listen, tell us at least a tip or two or something that's been funny from your whole dating stories or chronicles. Tell us.
Oh my. Well, I will first say that I drew not only on my own personal stories, but others that shared their stories with me. But something funny. It's not necessarily funny. It could have been traumatic, but it was a learning experience for me. Okay. And it was probably the last online dating experience before I decided, let's not do this. you talk to people, you get to know them ahead of time before you agree to meet them. But their representative, I'll say, eventually steps to the side and you meet the true person. And it happened all in one dating event. So much so I met someone during this date that pulled me to the side and said, "What are you doing with this person?" I know this person, and this person is a recovering addict or was, but all the things that had happened along the date in a matter of 3 hours, this person showed me that they were not a recovering alcoholic, but still active in their addiction. And I was asking myself, how do I get out of this date? It was very embarrassing. I'll say everywhere we went, people were looking at me like, "What are you doing?" And it was a mother and her child that crossed our paths. And I separated myself by going to the bathroom. And on my way back, she said, "He's over there. Run." And I did that. I left.
Okay, what? I think that's what I would do in a dating situation. If I don't feel comfortable, I would just be like, I got to figure out how to get out of it. He'll deal with it. That's between him and God. I got to get out of this.
Exactly. Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So you just left and you just left him sitting there.
I did. He did come out running after me, but it. Yeah. Yes.
Now see that right there throw even the Bay Area people into a high pitched voice. You'd be like, "Wait,
right?"
Okay, Lord have mercy. Tell people how to stay connected with you so we can go ahead and hear. I know Bernice like, y'all ain't gonna take all my time on this show. Go ahead.
You can find me on Instagram. I'm actually under my legal name, Sonia Garrett 24/7. Facebook, you can find me under Sonia Garrett. You can also find me on my website, soniabambino.com. You can reach out to me. You can also see my other written works that I have published, and you can contact me directly from there.
Awesome. Listen, okay, everybody, I want to hear some more of those dating stories, because that right there you tell the whole world about, so people know what to look out for.
Right.
Because I know I would have to share my location with some people. I'm like, we need double dating. No, I don't know what the deal is, but I just think that it's so much going on in this world. It's hard to trust folk, Anyway, Bernice, you ready for this?
I stay ready.
Oh,
that's
girl,
a Bay Area thing.
that was going to
Hello. So you don't have to get ready.
So you don't have to
get ready. You stay ready. Well, guess what? This particular commercial is only going to fill up a little portion of the screen, so we all kind of going to still be seen. But this is Lamb Funeral Home, and we're going to come right back after this commercial.
Lamb Funeral Home has been serving the Cabarrus County in North Carolina and surrounding communities for more than 9 years. Our staff of funeral directors are dedicated to providing the very highest quality of service and continue to be well respected throughout the communities we serve. Our professionals are caring, experienced professionals who understand that each family is unique and has personal requests and traditions. These requests and traditions are the utmost importance to our staff of licensed funeral directors. From the initial care to aftercare, you can entrust your loved one and arrangements to Lamb Funeral Home.
All right, everyone, and we are back. We're talking right now with Bernice Cooper, and I'm going to give you an introduction. She's a dynamic empowerment speaker, coach, author, licensed marriage and family therapist who is determined to use her education and experience to inspire, motivate, and transform lives. She has her life experience of overcoming some different types of family addictions and trauma, paired with her professional experience, has fueled her passion that she has to help guide people, specifically women, out of victimville mentality. We're going to hear more about what that means. And she also works as a clinician specializing in addiction medicine and recovery services at Kaiser Permanente. She owns her own consulting business, Joy Road Solutions, and is a recovery specialist and coach. She is the award-winning author of the anthology Vacate Victimville, and she's also done some debut work, Vacate Victimville, the Recovery Workbook, and she's obviously a co-author in the breaking point, which is what we're talking about today. Welcome, Bernice.
Thank you so much for having me
Thank you
on the
for
Kim
choosing
Jacobs
to be here
Show.
today. You could be anywhere. Tell us about your chapter.
Okay, first of all, thank you, Pastor Paulette, for giving us this opportunity to be on this platform. My chapter is titled Dust from the Lion's Den.
Get out of here. That's a good
And
chapter.
that is of course for your faith folks, it does have a biblical reference to
Okay.
Daniel and the lion's den. And this chapter, I'm not going to give y'all too much. Y'all got to get the book. Okay, ebook goes on sale Tuesday, $1.99, and yeah, y'all got to get the book. But I will say this: it's a chapter about God's promises, right, and understanding that it's the same God that served you in the last request or the last illness. And it was a journey for myself to remind myself that God keeps his promises, and also realize that I am no Daniel, right? Because for those folks who know the story, Daniel's in the lion's den with all kinds of confidence. That wasn't my walk, right? I haven't always had that confidence, not in myself, but I haven't always had that confidence in God that he's going to do what he says he's going to do.
Right. You can go to sleep laying on a
Yeah.
lion and just chilling.
Yeah.
You know he got it. He got you, right?
Yeah. So that's been exciting. This is my first time actually writing about myself. I typically write fiction stories, short stories, nano tales. So this was my first time. That's why I answered the call for this anthology to write a story about myself. And actually, it was more challenging than writing my 2 previous books.
I can imagine. I can imagine when you're used to writing the fiction and then you're just like, I don't do this. But when you talk about Victimville, tell us a little snippet from that too, of how you encourage people to get out of being a victim.
Yeah. So the stories are really connected in the sense that Dust from the Lion's Den is actually about my own story feeling like a victim to an illness.
Okay.
Right. And so Victimville is just a place, right? Not a physical place. It doesn't have a geographical location. It's a place in our minds. It's an imprisonment, if you will, right? Because we enter this place called Victimville on maybe Disappointment Drive or Betrayal Boulevard, right? And now we're on Resentment Road and we're not talking to nobody.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a journey. It's a journey. And I found myself navigating Victimville many times. And I tell people all the time, right? I mean, either you're visiting Victimville, because we all visit there.
Everybody does, right?
We pull up on Woe Is Me Lane every now and then.
You preaching.
Either you're visiting there, some people vacation there, and others they've taken up residency. And so
how
my
do you
goal,
encourage people to get off of Victimville Lane or Resentment Road or whatever? Give us one tip.
One tip would be, and I talk about it in the workbook, but I'll just give you one. Not waiting for an apology.
Oh, do not wait for an apology.
Yeah. Because forgiveness, right, sometimes requires us to do it, right? Especially as believers, right? We're required to forgive people who aren't sorry.
Right. I have forgiven. You know what? I literally have forgiven everybody that has wronged me. It's okay. It wasn't okay what you did, but you're still forgiven. And neither here nor there. I can't do a thing about going back to erase what you chose to do that you knew was wrong. But I'm free because I've already forgiven you, and you know you needed to be forgiven. You know?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, that's good right there. If everybody just choose that alone, we would be able to be in a better mental space, right?
Yes, absolutely.
How can people stay connected with you? Tell them.
On Facebook and Instagram, I'm at Vacate Victimville. You can also visit my website, www.vacatevictimville.net.
All right. Listen, everybody, we're about to close out. We went a little bit over, but that's because we had Les Brown backstage endorsing their book. So that's why we didn't come on right on time. I think that was worth coming on a few minutes late, right? All right. Listen, I want a closing comment from each of you all. So yes, Athena said there's some good stuff that they saying on here. Make sure if you think it's some good stuff, Athena, make sure you all go and get a copy of the book. You can get the book anywhere on Amazon or from any of these ladies that are here today. And I have to call right back. I'm in the middle of a show closing out here. Let me call right back. Okay, so anyway. So the breaking point, make sure you all get a copy of this book, and you can get it on Amazon, but please definitely get it from one of these contributing authors if you want to get a signed copy. And then also keep in mind that the visionary herself is here, Pastor Paulette Harper. We're going to hear a closing comment from each of them, but I do want to go ahead and give you, Carolyn, the chance to say your closing comment.
It's God that has begun a good work in us will not stop until it is completed. And you have to keep that. I had to keep that in front of me. Still have to keep that in front of me because we're all still at work. We are all still at work.
Awesome. Leisha.
Yes. Don't be afraid to take those bold steps in the dark. You know, when God tells you to move your feet, move your feet. Don't wait. Don't get stuck in the cul-de-sac of life where you're just going around in a circle. Life's too short. We don't have time for that.
Okay. Bernice.
Yes, I just want to encourage anyone who's listening that if you're sitting on a gift right now, especially if it's to write, to contact Pastor Paulette and be part of one of those anthologies, because the gift that God has given you was for you to open, but it was actually for other people to receive.
Excellent. Pastor Paulette.
Yeah, so I just want to leave people with the word jump. That's what you need to do. Jump.
Y'all jump. Y'all heard it from Pastor Paulette. Make sure you jump. And I want to make sure that I take a moment to just say happy birthday to our son, Jeremiah Jacobs. He turned 17 today, and you cannot imagine how happy we are to have him and our family. He is all about his goals and his dreams, and he got swag that you can't even imagine. He wants to be a famous actor. He fights cystic fibrosis, and he kicks it in the head every day. But he wants to be he actually wants to be Miles Morales on Spider-Man, play that role. So I just believe that he could actually do it. And so just encourage him today. He always says, he's my only child that will say, Mom, please put the cash app. Everybody else, my other kids, they never, they be like, Mom, please don't put cash app about me. But Jeremiah, like, put the cash app. So everybody's different. Everybody's different in my family, but my kids all have their own personalities and do different things. He speaks for Cystic Fibrosis Foundation as one of their ambassadors, and he's just an overall great guy. So happy birthday to you, Jeremiah. And we celebrate you and we salute you today. It's our honor and our privilege. And it's my honor to put the cash app so that if anybody do want to bless Jeremiah, you can. Happy birthday, sweetheart. All right, everybody. Thank you all for tuning in today. Tomorrow, you know what it is. It's Freestyle Friday right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. So make sure you all tune in. And as you know, we're getting ready to go into this Easter resurrection holiday weekend. I'm asking God to bless you all tremendously as you celebrate the resurrection, in my case, the resurrection of Christ. So if you celebrate the Easter Bunny, just enjoy your weekend, whatever you want to do, right? But we'll see you tomorrow right here on the Kim Jacobs Show. Guys, we're going to close out, but if you all could stay backstage for 1 minute, I'd greatly appreciate it. Everybody else, you guys have a fantastic rest of your day, and thank you all. Y'all were amazing guests today.
Thank you, Kim.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Hello, everyone. I'm Kim Jacobs, host of the Kim Jacobs Show, where we're bringing balance to the world, one household at a time. Listen, we go live every weekday, Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I bring guests on that talk about their backstories, things that they've had to overcome to become who they are today. Many of them are balancing and juggling life, and they've become experts in different fields. So they're sharing tips with you to make your life just a little bit easier. Many times as a guest in the studio audience, you'll get a chance to walk away with a missing piece of the puzzle that might be missing in your life. Let's go on this journey together, and I look forward to seeing you Monday through Friday at 11 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on The Kim Jacobs Show.